This is a pair of nippers, just regular wire cutters. These are the Harbor Freight lights. This is the tester I was telling you about. You're going to need a 470 ohm resistor. Now, on my resistors, I always use 470 ohms. I've never found a need for not. And I've done theaters for trains like the Polar Express, and I've done O gauge and HO, and I have never come a problem. And I've run 24 bank of lights sometimes on 5 millimeter and 6 volts. I've never had an issue with not using 470 ohms, and it works really good. So I want to suggest that to you. That's really only the resistor that you should probably need in this model railroading setup. So, and then you'll need your sandpaper. So basically what I do, and I'll show you here, is I print these little lights out. And I do it all myself. I'll show you here. And basically there is a piece of plastic that I get from Hobby Lobby. And then I made the bases, and then I print them out, and then I do the tops, and then I use clear PLA to make the tops, and they snap in place. Now I designed all of these in Inventor, and when I get done, I have something like this. And they look really, really sharp on something like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me pull that up. This is a building we haven't even kitted yet, but a guy bought lots of these. He's going to buy 2 of them actually. And then I put that inside, and then I light them in from the inside. So, but today I want to show you how I take and get that little light, that little SMD inside there, and I'll show you how it lights up. So now this one, I do believe I marked it, so this should be the red side. So I take my tester, because I've already tested it out. Put it on the black and get it up there so you can see it. And there you go. And let's see. I don't have good contact there. Okay, there you go. And so now you see it's lit up. And that's a nice little light. Now I'm going to show you how we make that. And then you can make your own the same way. Okay, so let's set that down. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your Harbor Freight light, and you're going to take these 2 leads, okay, and you're just going to cut it like this, okay, and then you're going to take your fingers and then just spread those lines out there. Now the cool thing about an SMD, if you can see that, maybe get a piece of white here. Okay, the thing about an SMD is there's a little bitty line inside there. It's like a little diode, I guess. You can cut all the plastic up to that line and not lose the light. Now watch, I'll show you. I'm going to do it very carefully. Right there. And now you see how tiny I got that? That's very, very tiny. And that will fit in one of these lights. I'll show you. Shove that in there like this. Gotta look at the camera at the same time doing it. See how it fits down way in there? And then I take my little cap. Snap it on, and bingo. And that's a nice little light. Now, it may not be perfectly to scale because we're talking, you know, a 4 millimeter line, maybe 0.5 on this. And, well, 0.4 millimeter with the printer. But, you know, but it looks nice, too, when it's all done. And I'll show you pictures at the end of the video with this building all lit up. So, okay, now we've got our light, but we don't know what's negative or positive. And there's enamel on this. That's the thing you need to know. This is not normal wire. I think they call it, starts with a K. I can't remember anymore what the name of it is. But it's a type of wire that's got an enamel coating on. So this is where this torch comes in. Take the torch, and then you just heat it up like that. Okay, see how I just did that? Okay. And I take my little sandpaper. I usually use about 50 or 60 grit. And you just very carefully do this and just take that little enamel coating off. And that's it. Okay, so now once you get that make contact and get that enamel coating off, and I go, you know, side to side to make sure I get it really good. Okay, try and keep this in the center of the camera for you. Okay, now I'll grab a red marker, which is right Where's my red marker? I'll grab a red marker. I'm gonna mark red, which is hot. So I'm gonna turn my little tester on, okay? And I'm gonna just put the leads on and see which way it goes. It might light up, and it might not. Now I know that this is the opposite. So I'm gonna put this one on this side and one on this side. And see, there it is. And now I used a yellow one in that little light. This is not yellow. This is what they call warm white. This one is yellow. I like the yellow because it looks like a real lamp. But that's it. So then once you figure out what's, red, then you take your little marker here and you just mark the one side so you know that that's red, just like that. And that's it, guys. That's as simple as it is. Now you can solder that in series. You can solder that together, and make sure you turn your little light off, and you can use it in your building, and you can have an endless supply. I mean, I don't know what, there's maybe 30 on this thing, and it only costs $7. And if you go to Walmart after Christmas, you can buy 100 of those little fairy lights, and they just work so well, and they're so tiny. I've even used them like this in my Northwest Depot to be like cargo lights, and they give the appearance of it. I mean, we're talking N scale, guys. We don't deal with anything that in that kind of detail. I mean, if you really want to get that crazy with detail, where you have the stem on the light and everything else, then I guess go out and buy it if you got the money for it. But I don't believe in that, because you know what? Anything from 2 feet away, I'm not even going to see the detail in it. All right, now here's the wind turbines that I make, and I need to know if they're going to work once I get to this point. So these have little 6-volt motors in them, and they will turn, but I can't put, unless I put a resistor in there or, have the buck converter on there, if I put a 12-volt power supply on here, I'll burn it out. So that's why I use those regulators and power converters in the base, so I don't burn that motor out. But this is only 6 volts, okay? So again, so I can see if the motor and everything's working before I ship it to the customer or put it on display for sale, let's say. Okay, this so you can see that. And now let me get the turbine in here so it doesn't hit the other one. Just turn this on. I know that's going to hit. And there you go. You see, this little tester now tells me that I have everything wired up right. Now, I can't adjust the voltage on it, because if I adjusted the voltage, it would get faster, of course. But it tells me the light's working. See?